Hey witches, Mr. Overon here with Mr. Overon's Tarot Reading Services, and today I'm going to go over how I make black salt. Black salt is an amazing substance to have on hand. You can use it for banishing, you can use it for binding, you could use it for protection. There's just a whole bunch of different stuff that you can do with it. It's really rather simple to do so, but the first couple of ingredients that you're going to need is you're going to need salt. You're going to need salt. I'm using just regular plain table salt. You could use sea salt, you can use Himalayan salt, whatever you want it, or whatever you happen to have on hand. I usually make it with Himalayan salt or kosher salt, but for today I'm using this salt. Again, it really doesn't matter unless it matters to you which type of salt you're going to use. Of course, if you're using sea salt, then you have that elemental connection to the water and earth all at the same time. If you're using pink Himalayan salt, there's other implications along with that. So just whatever you happen to have on hand. You could pick up a big thing of salt like this at the Dollar Tree for like $1. Most grocery stores have it for anywhere from 50 cents to like $1. So basically anywhere you can get some salt, or just regular old table salt like I'm using, works. Then you're also going to want some kind of clean receptacle to hold the salt in. You're also going to need a mixing bowl of some sort, and I love using glass mixing bowls or stainless steel, especially for my magics and things like that. But any bowl that you have, it could excuse me, it could just be a cereal bowl. Then you're also going to need either charcoal or ashes. I'm using ashes for my bay leaf spell that I do every morning, and it also has some charcoal briskets in it. You know, the little incense briskets that you get in like this little silver package, and they're like yay big or whatever. So there's some of the ash in that from there. Now, if you are using ash that has all kinds of chaotic energy mixed in with it, like this ash here only has positive healing intentions. I use it for blessing my friends, my family, bringing money into my life, bringing blessings into my life, bringing blessings into my customers' lives, bringing, you know, the whole gambit. So this is filled with positive energy. And so making this salt today is going to be filled with positive energy, and those energies that bring in good fortune, good luck, and so on and so forth. If these ashes were used for negativity and like banishing, or like cursing and stuff like that, you would really want to kind of label that, because that kind of intent is already going to be permeated into the ash, and that energy is permeated into that ash. And so making up this salt for like blessing and protection and stuff like that with that negative energy kind of cancels each other out. So you can also use wood ash if you have a fireplace, and you know, you could use the ash from that. You can use the ash from like a bonfire, just whatever you happen to have on hand. But for me, I do these bay leaf spells daily, where I burn 5 or 6 leaves at a time, so my ash accumulates really freaking quick. I've also seen ash used from cannabis smokers who like dump out their bowls or whatever after they're done smoking. That could also be utilized, and it would have a medicinal quality to it. It would have that good intentions, that good vibes, because usually if you're getting stoned, you're not going to be too pissed off at the universe. It's going to put you in a really good mood. You're just going to feel a lot better. So it all depends on the intent and the power that you want this to have. By itself, if it's completely neutral, it's going to have power by just in that regard. If you're just burning wood for the sake of burning wood to get the ash, that's about as neutral as you're going to get. But like I said, this ash has a ton of different properties mixed into it. And so yeah, without any further damn ado, let's get into it, shall we? Okay, so I'm going to just start off by emptying the ashes directly into the bowl here. And as you can see, there's still kind of big clumps in there. And we'll break those down in just a moment. Okay, so now that we got all the ashes out, we're going to want to break it down some. And I'm just going to use this spoon to kind of chop it up a little bit. Now what you would probably want to do also is, if you have a lot of big ash chunks like this, you could sift them off, or you could put this into a mortar and pestle and grind this down even more, which is kind of what I'm doing here, but it doesn't seem to be very successful in breaking it down. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is just add salt to this. Now there isn't any specific ratio to how much salt you add. You just add until you feel that there's enough. So let's start off with that and see what comes from this. Now, as you're mixing this up, you could stir it clockwise if you want to bring things into your life, counterclockwise if you want to take things out of your life, or you can just swish it back and forth. But because I want to bring protection into my life, I'm going to go clockwise, and I'm going to think of all that protection and all of that other stuff, like bringing prosperity into the house, bringing peace and harmony into the house. And then I'm also going to go counterclockwise because I want to banish evil and negative energy. I want to banish and restrict the flow of bad magic coming toward me. I want to banish poverty. I want to banish worry and fear. So just put your intention into this. And like I said, this is how I make my black salt. You can make it however you want. I tend to leave mine a little chunky because I like to see the herbs and the stuff inside of it. But like I also said, you can sift this down or stick it into a mortar and pestle and grind it down further and finer. But for me, this works just perfectly as is. And you can say a spell over this if you want. You can bless it and consecrate it. So I'm going to do a basic consecration over it. And what I'm doing here is I'm focusing that there is a ball of energy forming between my hands here. And I'm just going to say the first thing that comes to mind. I call upon the elements of earth, fire, air, and water to come together in this magical concoction of mine to help bring peaceful energy to my home and to all areas that I consecrate with this. I ask that it also banish and protect me from all evils, no matter where I spread this. Great Goddess Mother Divine, hear me during this working of mine. Be with me and infuse this with your divine presence. As so above, as so below, so shall this be. And if you're sensitive to energy, you could just, I can feel the energy coming off of this right now. There's a hot circle that's just like, this side of my hand is kind of cool. This side of my hand is warm. This is my dominant hand. This is my receptive hand. So, but yeah, just holding it like this right here, I can feel heat coming off of this. But it's cold to the touch. So now that this is all mixed, blessed, and consecrated, you want to transfer it into your container. And so I'm going to do that off camera and be right back. And there you have it, guys. So what I did off camera was I just added a little bit more salt to this because it only came up to like right about here. And so I just added some salt and shook it up. And there you go. Now this salt is ready to be used in all your magical workings. And there's tons of different ways you can use this. You can physically shake it out and sprinkle it out. You could add it to a spray bottle and add a little bit of water, or dilute this in water and then spray that. Or if you are working at your altar, you could keep like a little bowl of this on your altar and then just sprinkle some into your magical workings. If you're doing candle magic, you could sprinkle some of this onto your candle, just however you want to utilize it. But this is basically the same formulary as the black salt that you would buy on eBay or Amazon or in witch shops. They typically use just regular charcoal powder, or like that activated charcoal powder stuff. You could do that as well, but I don't feel that the commercial stuff has the same type of power as something that you make yourself. It can, but why buy something when you can make it yourself? Or so anyways, that's my little rant for that. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them in the comment section down below. You can follow me on all the different social medias. Facebook, it's Mr. Overon. Tarot reading services. On Instagram, it's just Mr. Overon, and you can also go to the website MrOveron.com for any like spell work that you would like to have done, if you would like to have a tarot reading done or whatever. But yeah, so until next time, it's been great. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, witches.